Everyone, today we're going to explore a new neighborhood in Washington, D.C. Following the advice of Rob from Trip Hacks DC, he mentioned to go to U Street in the Cardozo neighborhood, and that's exactly what we're going to do. I actually ended the last tour a little bit later than I expected, so I'm still here in the neighborhood where I ended the last live video in Capitol Hill. So I'm taking an Uber up to that neighborhood, which should be a 12-minute ride. I hope you enjoy. I won't be able to talk inside the Uber, but I hope you enjoy. So hello everyone, I am in the Capitol Hill neighborhood where I just ended with Rob, and I'm gonna take a Uber over to the neighborhood of Cardozo on U Street. So I hope you enjoyed it. It's a very golden autumn. I won't be able to talk in the Uber, but let's go. It's coming soon. Yes. Hey, how's it going?
How are you?
Good, how are you? Oh, can we shut off the music, please?
Off the music?
Yeah. Oh, weird. Thank you so much. Beautiful day today. At least the autumn leaves are getting better. Yeah. I'm shooting the sights. Yeah.
Sorry?
I'm shooting the sights. Yeah.
The site.
The ride. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no, it's okay. You could go normal speed. It's okay. But thank you. Yeah, exactly. It's just that these neighborhoods are so gorgeous, and sometimes they're hard to see in all in one walk. Yeah. Any other neighborhoods you recommend that are worth walking around?
Honestly, DC, it's like a small and beautiful flower. It's just like that. So everywhere, it's beautiful.
Oh.
So yeah, obviously downtown, but I'm not sure if you're interested in the skyscrapers and everything.
Not so much because I'm from New York, so I already see a lot of that.
So it's like not 7th Street, Capitol Hill, North Capitol Hill Street, which is not far from here.
Oh.
So, and what's the intersection? North Capitol and...
Are you talking right by the Eastern Market, the 7th, 8th?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this old buildings, the old houses.
Oh yeah.
Have you kept...
Yeah, I went here, yeah, recently.
Yeah. I was
Yeah, now I'm visiting the north end for the first time.
Okay.
So I'm not sure how it looks like yet, but
Yeah, this is
yeah. What happened?
I can drive slowly for $10. Only $10.
The best bus tour there is.
Another $10 I can drive fast.
Exactly. Here in DC, I assume it's hard to drive fast because there's so many
pretty
turns.
much.
Yeah.
I should stick with the slow, right?
Yeah, exactly. But luckily, there's no traffic, which is nice. Because otherwise, I wouldn't take a Uber in normal time. Yeah, exactly. Oh, so yeah, sometimes I make an edited video, so I like to show like the different spots to visit in the city.
But it's visible. It's gonna be visible for everybody.
Yeah. So I'll be showing how the views look like to friends and family.
Regular camera would be just the same.
I like the easiness of using a cell phone. It's much easier. Yeah, the Union Station. Yeah, I like how iPhone is just small and compact, and yeah. I do have a bigger camera, but sometimes a little bit too much to carry around.
Okay, PC, you have that, structure that what do you call it? The image. It's known that you took the picture.
It's barely noticeable because iPhones are now so good.
Okay.
And they shoot, and
people wouldn't recognize it.
it's hard to recognize.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's good.
You have to have a very keen eye to see. It's a little bit more noticeable if you shoot at nighttime. Yeah, because iPhone is not good at night.
So you have to put it like vertical. You have to incline the camera.
Oh no, so I usually shoot horizontal, so it's the same as the camera. Yeah. But of course you can also shoot vertical.
Okay,
that's the
Or
difference.
if you do vertical, actually, that's where
It won't combine.
it won't be compatible, right?
It won't be
People
compatible.
would notice it.
It won't look nice. Yeah.
But if you put it horizontal, then people wouldn't recognize.
People won't recognize it.
That's the secret.
For that I recommend the iPhone because it's so good, and now with video and photo.
So whenever I record, if I put it like that, when I put it online, it wouldn't be noticed.
Yeah, it won't be noticeable.
So
Yeah, so you can easily make videos also driving, and then it won't be noticeable. The only thing with, of course, the car is that the glass gets in the way.
Yeah, but even I can go out, walk out, take pictures and videos.
Yeah.
But I should always put it horizontal.
Yeah, if you want to show it to, it makes it make it look like a nice video, nice small film. Yeah.
That's I would take the shot vertical and that
Yeah, because sometimes it looks a little bit ugly when you shoot it vertical because
I
it's
really
hard
don't
to
like
shoot the
that.
sides.
Yes,
And
exactly.
yeah.
So now I should pay that $10.
No,
The other way around.
always happy to give.
From here, but from
Where are you originally from, if I may
I'm
ask?
from Ethiopia.
Ethiopia. Oh, cool. There's a lot of Ethiopian food here,
Yes.
right?
True,
Yeah.
Ethiopians.
Ethiopia.
It's a stronghold.
It's a stronghold. Okay.
Yes.
What's the neighborhood for the Ethiopian food?
Like DC, the NB area is like pretty much. Half a million Ethiopians living in the DMV area. The DC, Maryland,
Wow.
Virginia area. Yes.
500,000 is gigantic.
Yeah, it is.
Oh wow. Oh,
The first
that's
generation,
impressive.
some 100 years ago, they come settle here, and then the generation after that, I have my in-laws living here for
Mhm.
over 20 years now.
Mhm.
I myself been living here for 5 years. The first time I came here, I stayed with them for 6 months, and then I declared my independence
Yeah.
with 500 basement rent.
Oh yeah.
That's how I
Good
had-
deal.
Yes. But,
Have you found food here that's close to what you have at home?
yes, Dukan Habesha restaurant. These are basically authentic food.
What's the name of the place?
Habesha restaurant.
Habesha.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's on the 13th, 12th Street. In this area.
Oh, cool.
Not far.
Yeah, because I'm traveling here as a tourist, so like
Wow.
when I read the guidebooks, a lot of people said try Ethiopian food.
True.
Yeah.
I've not been to some places. I've been to Cincinnati, Ohio, and to the South Myrtle Beach. I drove this past summer. I drove down there from here, like North Carolina, South.
Mm.
But I have not been to New York. I really wanted, and then this COVID-19 happens, and that is like, don't come near.
Well, luckily it's pretty close. It's only like
It is.
4
I
hour
was
4 hour drive.
Can you imagine
Yeah.
like driving down to Myrtle Beach and not going up to New York? It's not really doing justice to me.
And if you want to take advantage, New York is still pretty emptier
now-
than usual.
Okay, so is it advisable for me?
It's advisable to travel
Is there
in the
any
meantime.
travel restriction if I
No.
drive? So I should do it before winter.
Do it before winter. Do it before COVID might return. Who knows?
And I like
yeah.
your government.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Really unsuccessful.
Yes, good.
But he was like that kind of persona. Like Trump was supposed to do that.
Yeah, dude.
But you tune to TV to just listen to his that you are not living in New York.
Yeah. That's why
If I'm not, I should listen to this guy.
what they're showing in the news, they're showing like New York is dangerous. It's not like that at all.
Okay.
It's just like DC.
Okay.
DC is a bit emptier than New York, though.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm actually pretty shocked how empty it is
Like, do you mean like during the pandemic or
right now during the
now?
pandemic. Yeah.
It is, yeah. Actually, usually it's what's happening to this is like the population is somewhere between 55 to 7,500,000.
Yeah.
But you have millions of people who come as a visitors from all over the world, including the
Yeah.
and government. Those people who work for the federal government, they usually live either in Maryland or Virginia. Come, work and then travel back. I mean, drive back,
Oh, I see.
or use the subway.
That's why I spoke with a few other locals, and they recommended me to go to Arlington for a little bit more life.
Yeah.
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 That
So
makes
now
sense.
this like pretty much all government offices are shut down. You don't see people here. Working from home.
Yeah. It is nice as a tourist. I get to go to sites very easily, at least,
Yeah.
which is good.
It is good like as a tourist. You have life, work, or it comes to no really. Everywhere you go, that's
If I would recommend going to New York City right now because you could easily like drive to like the Empire State Building. You could drive all around the city
really.
without too much traffic. Yeah. It really is. It really is. I went to Empire State Building about a month ago, and I basically had it to myself,
Wow.
which was crazy. The entire observation deck, and it was very clean and very.
So I was one thing like parking is difficult.
It is.
And
Yeah.
it is very hard for you to just go. You have to just park. You have somewhere far from the downtown, paying like so many times a month or something. And then just try to try to do your job. So
Here-
that was an impression I had. So are you telling me that the sport is a bit different now? I can have
So if
affordable parking and then you can go around.
yes, so I would say if you go to the business areas where there are offices.
Okay.
A lot of offices are still closed,
Okay.
so they tend to be emptier now.
Okay.
So you'll probably find parking and actually a lot next to the tourist sites.
Do you advise me to take to drive there or to use the train?
Oh, since you already own a car, I would recommend just driving there.
Do you
I
think
would.
I could find a parking area
Yeah, you would. Yeah.
Should I pre-order like should I can find if I get there and I can go around right around.
You can easily find it. Yeah, you won't. It won't be too difficult to search for something. I don't think you'll be searching for too long. Usually, there's a lot of streets on the side that have some parking available. And if you go to like East Village, you'll be able to park over there because it's more local.
Manhattan.
Yeah, so it's like more of the local neighborhood.
Take train to.
Exactly. Yeah.
Piece of information.
What?
Another tip on.
Ooh, what neighborhood are we passing now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you been around Georgetown?
I did. I went yesterday.
That's also neat.
Ooh, loved it.
It has a European style.
It does, yeah. I assume the main city in Ethiopia has that European style.
No, honestly, it doesn't have any style.
Oh no.
I'm sorry to say.
Oh, okay.
Not betraying it, but telling the truth. It's like a big village. That's
Oh,
what
it's a
they
big-
say.
okay, okay, okay.
Now, somehow it is kind of changing. Like you have the skyscrapers,
Oh, there are. Nice.
and like you have small apartments, like residential apartments rather.
Mm.
So it is having like that city, a vibrant urban feature, right?
Yeah.
But pretty much, over Poverty Street and Shanty House is highlight of little princess and all that.
I bet that'll probably change
African cities,
I bet that'll change like in about like 20 years. Things are gonna be very different.
For a country that has been sleeping, now
Yeah.
the economy has changed. It's like a sleeping giant walking on 2 days. It is changing. What I'm trying to say is changing.
Yeah.
That is changing. Because thing years,
Especially Ethiopia, which is like a regional power.
Yes.
Yeah.
But and as you say, the coming 20 years, it is going to change. I do believe.
Well, what ended up bringing you to America? What was the reason you ended up deciding to come, or to DC?
As I said, I have my in-laws living in Maryland.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
So you wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Like as you said, you have Ethiopian food.
Yeah,
You wouldn't really feel like you are far away from your home.
yeah, which is nice.
Yeah, which is nice. You have Ethiopian restaurants, shops, which you can have all kinds of like spices that you would normally put in that part.
Oh,
So you don't feel.
ah, man, that's the beauty.
Yes.
That's the beauty of American
Been to
cities.
Europe 3 times.
Yeah.
And you don't see Ethiopian walking on the street. You feel as if you are like in Mars because
Oh yeah.
geographically, if you see Africa, Europe, it's not that far.
Yeah, it's right
It's
next to-
7 hours flight from Addis to Paris. Here it's 13 hours, but you still feel like you are as if really closer to the next morning. You take 5 hours, 6 hours, probably 2 hours drive. You are in Ethiopia. It's just that's a feeling.
Exactly. Yeah. That's how I feel. My family's from Puerto Rico, and they migrated to New York. And when they came to New York, we were surrounded by Puerto Ricans. There was Puerto Rican families, Puerto Rican parade, Puerto Rican food.
Yeah, there is some Latino population in New York. I would like Florida, California. That's
Oh,
like
even more.
bigger. But some they say like you have many Latinos in New York.
Even
You
New
could say that you have
more than
stronger-
here, definitely. New York is a Latino stronghold.
Wow, that's like surprising.
Oh,
You would
really?
think, yeah, because like the southern
Oh yeah, no.
side of the U.S. is more closer to Latin, right? The southern part, like Florida.
It's because there's a lot of industry still in New York that
Oh.
require
Okay.
that immigrants. It seems attractive for them to come to the states.
I see.
Yeah, like the service
Wow.
industry for certain.
The service.
Yeah. But of course, there's Puerto Ricans, there's Argentinians that are professional doctors, engineers that also come in here.
So far,
Yeah,
so
all ranges. I myself studied electrical engineering, and a lot of my classmates were Africans. So from Nigeria, I had Gambia classmates. I had 2 Ethiopian classmates, and they were studying engineering to become engineers here in New York City. Yeah. So I think that's the reason. I think
Yeah.
down south there's only a few cities. There's like Dallas
I'm
and
surprised to
yeah.
hear like you have Latino population in New York. You would think Black Americans, of course, whites, and then very few, diverse from all over.
oh,
But then you have like
New
some,
York
like you
is
said,
everyone's in New York, every nationality.
and Italian, Jewish, these
Oh, yeah.
could be the people who would, populate New York. You
Yeah.
would naturally think, right?
Yeah.
But then, as you said,
Well, for example, there is there's a Senegalese, little Senegal in Manhattan.
really?
Yeah, there
You
is.
have Ethiopia here.
What's the name of the neighborhood for little Ethiopia?
I think it's, I don't know, 14th Street? I'm not sure.
14th Street. Okay.
Is it here or in California? I think it's here.
No, but I mean, what's the Ethiopian neighborhood here in DC?
Yeah, I think it's California.
California. Amazing, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate
It's a pleasure
it.
talking to you.
Have a
sir,
great day.
alright? Enjoy your
Yes.
stay, all right?
Will
I'll
do.
definitely visit New York.
Oh
After
yes.
your recommendation.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Okay, everyone, that was a ride on Uber. I hope you enjoy it. He was really awesome, really friendly guy. And I'm gonna give him a great tip because he was so awesome, and give him a good review before I continue with this tour, because I wanna support these amazing Uber drivers as much as possible. All right, so that was an Uber ride. The tour with Rob was so awesome. I did not want to cut it short, so I ended up running a little bit longer than I originally intended. So I was on the other side of a place I wanted to cover, and I had to take an Uber from Capitol Hill, where I ended with Rob, all the way here. And Elisa says nice ride. Lori says he was very nice. This is some neighborhood. This is some neighborhood. I think this is gonna be a good walking neighborhood. So we're in the neighborhood Cardozo, if I'm correct. But as you can tell, talking to this Uber driver, and we talked to another Uber driver the other day, they don't talk too much in names of neighborhoods here, the Washingtonians. I don't know why. They usually say streets. So even when I asked Rob, he said, he didn't even say a neighborhood name. He said, check out U Street. The gentleman who is Ethiopian American, he said, check out California Street, or California Road, here in Washington, D.C. So it's interesting. It's not like New York where it's neighborhoods. Here it's more about streets. So we are on U Street, which is, as we can see right now, it has a little different flavor from the other neighborhoods we've seen so far. So this is gonna be an interesting neighborhood. Let's walk around. We're gonna have some food. Wandering. Admittedly, I actually kind of ran out of interesting history around to check out. So, and there's not that many museums open. So today we're just gonna mostly wander around. I hope you guys are in for that. All right, let me know. Is this in Washington? Yep, we're in Washington. Hey, 4K Wanderer chips in for the Uber. Thank you so much, 4K Wanderer. So if anyone wants to know, we went from one side of Washington to another for about $12 US. And I gave a generous tip because he was awesome. A generous tip from my perspective, and I think a lot of people might share that. I gave a $5 tip, which is pretty big, but generally people would give like 10%, 15%. All right, let's walk around. So I gotta get a little bit set up before I actually start walking around, because I had to charge my phone as well. So let me get acquainted. All right. I always give 20%. Okay, cool. 20% says B Griffin. That's his preference. 20% is usually the standard for now for dining. Other services range between 10 and 20. Hi says Uber taxi drivers don't make that much money, so tips are crucial. Yes, indeed. So highly encourage. I know this is not a custom in Europe, but it is good to tip. If you are in the US, it's not only good, it's basically required. And yes, prices might be a little bit higher, but the people who work in these places dining don't really make a living wage. Okay, so let's go on U Street and let's see what this is all about. There's a few historic plaques, which is amazing. There is interesting, a bar called Dukum, Ethiopian restaurant. He mentioned that briefly, the Uber driver. And here it says city within a city. Greater U Street Heritage Trail. This is stop number 2. Ooh. Oh, this is fun. The daily lives of residents of this African American community were woven together through hundreds of social and civil organizations. Duke Ellington played one of his paid performances with his own band right here. Its lofty second-floor auditorium provided the setting for debutante balls, sorority and fraternity dances, and from 1938, basketball and other activities. Oh, I like that. Nice, we stumbled on a heritage trail. Oh yeah, it's really cool that we stumbled on a heritage trail. Duke Ellington played here. That is awesome. Wow, look at him right here. When I first moved to DC, says Pouty, my out-of-town visitors wanted to see 14th Street. Ladies of the night. So 14th Street apparently has changed. So I love this. I love bumping into heritage trails. All right, let's go into Ben's. So a few years ago, Barack Obama wanted to visit more of the classic Washingtonian bites, and one of those is Ben's Chili Bowl. And Obama came over here, had a great chili dog. Let's try it out. We're going to encounter music though, so Ben's Chili Bowl. Let's try it out. So excited. Hi.
Step outside so this red dot becomes available.
Cool. All right. A chili half smoke original.
Mustard beans, chili.
Yes.
Anything else?
That's all.
769.
All right, so we just got in chili half smoke. And I'm so excited for this. So the price, $7.69. $7.69 for chili hash brown. We'll see how it is. Obama came here. Let me show you the photo. places that are fun and exciting and interesting and travel destinations. This is not food review channel and this is not food criticism channel. So we're going to mostly just have fun, and that's why we're going to a place like this. There's fun photos. There's a lot of history to it. Famous people have come here. They have something very unique, like a chili hot dog, which as a little kid I always went crazy for. Especially if you've ever seen the film, oh, not the film, the TV series for kids, Sonic the Hedgehog. He always loved chili dogs, and at the end of every episode, he would eat a huge chili dog. So that's why we're here. You know, I get it. There's places maybe with some amazing, mind-blowing food. I get it. There's places that might be a little bit more better representation of the culture that this is representing, classic Washingtonian culture. There might be other places better than Washingtonian culture, but I don't know. Just like the song says, let's have some fun. Let's just keep on going, and that's why we come to places like these. You know, might not be always the best food, or it might be amazing food. It might not always be an authentic experience, but it's a fun experience. So as we're waiting, I'll wait over here. So Gail says it's not a trap. It's family. Better. Yeah, indeed. I'm not entirely sure if it's family owned. Let me know if anyone can confirm. Is it still family owned? I did see a very much older woman who was well dressed behind the counter. She strikes me as the owner. Let me know if that's her or if it's still within the family. And these places can surprise you with food. Yes, they can. You know, it's not always the case. But these places can surprise you with the food sometimes. And of course, this is what is called the Greasy Spoon in the UK and America. It's not like super high quality, fresh produce, farm to table restaurant that you can have in a bunch of other places. This is a Greasy Spoon, but Greasy Spoons are also as fun as having a good salad bowl. This restaurant is DC Historic Restaurant. Yes, family owned. And yes, she is. Oh, cool. That was the owner. Yeah, that was the owner that you saw. Yeah, I got it. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Cool. Outdoor seating over here. That's awesome. And there's a beautiful mural over here. Give her a shout out. All right. So let me find a place to kind of put down my camera so I can eat this chili dog. Fortunately, all the seats are taken in Ben's, so let me go across Washington and its alleyways. This feels a bit like 125th Street. Yes, it does have a vibe of Harlem. It does. It has a vibe of Harlem. Nice. Oh yeah, I don't like sitting by crowded tables, unfortunately. One, it's Corona, and two, it is, I just don't like continuing talking to camera when it's crowded, when people are surrounding me. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's not. If it's extremely crowded and it wasn't a pandemic, then I would sit down in a crowded restaurant, which I've done before. So we'll walk around more. Let's wait for the very, very long light over here. Great street art. I'll be showing more of the murals. Stay tuned. This is going to be a pretty slow stream, so if you're watching for the first time expecting very quick action, this is not that type of channel. It's slow TV. Take our sweet time here on Urbanist. When we go in front of the church, seems like a pleasant place. Maybe set the camera down eventually. Exactly, slow TV with the tortoise. Indeed, perfect emoji. I walk fast, but still slow TV. All right, there we go. I found my stand. White spaces make people happier. I agree. They do make people happier. They do. Yeah. It is nice to have a white space. All right, let's try this out. Here is Ben's chili bowl. Oh, can I sit down here? I think I could. Yeah. I can sit here. Something about Ariel watching others cross while he waited was funny. Indeed, sometimes I miss the light because I'm paying attention to the comments. All right, let's try this half smoke. So it comes with potato chips. Potato chips. Ripple Original. Let's try it out. 160 calories. This is like an old school brand. Don't know too much about its history, but I think it's an American brand. And it's very similar to Frito-Lay's. Classic goods, yeah. Yum. It's pretty good. I like it. And let's see the half smoke. Oh my god. Well, this is quite a half smoke. Look at this. So this is a chili, basically a chili cheese dog. They call it the half smoke. The hot dog is a bit bigger. It's not quite like the New York hot dog. It's a bit more plumper. And I think it's a mix between beef and pork, if I recall correctly. And it's gigantic. Hey, Trip Hacks DC, thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, I did see the owner. She seemed like a boss, as they would say here in the US. Like a boss. She is the boss, but she looked like a boss. All right, let's try this out. This is huge. It looks like a Sloppy Joe. Yeah, it looks like a Sloppy Joe as well. And I'm excited for this. I have a childhood fascination with chili cheese dogs. They call it half smoke, but I'm going to use chili cheese dog, the term. Because, as I mentioned earlier, one of my favorite cartoon shows as a little kid was Sonic the Hedgehog. And at the end of every single episode, Sonic and his sidekick, Tails, would just eat a huge chili cheese dog. And I remember being fascinated as a little kid because, you know, I'm from New York. There's not really chili cheese dogs, especially back in the 1990s. Hot dogs that you bought were mostly just with mustard, relish, sauerkraut, ketchup maybe. Let's try it out. Wow. Plump is a understatement. Biting into this hot dog, the skin is has pushback. It's like al dente. You bite into it and it like pushes back in your mouth in the most pleasant way possible. It's really interesting. Wow, it's like a bratwurst, but a little bit snappier. This hot dog really snaps. Wow. And it's so juicy once you bite inside. So it tastes more like a bratwurst than it does a hot dog. And of course the chili. Chili's nice and perfectly spicy. Not burn your mouth spicy, but just right. This is so good. This is so good. Oh wow, I really recommend this. It's $7, so it's a bit expensive. But that's around the price that you can get chili cheese dogs and also in New York City. I think the cheapest chili cheese dog you get in New York City is about $4 at Papaya King. But this ain't no Papaya King. This is the hot dog is quite another level of juiciness. Papaya King has its benefits, but this is quite a juicy dog. And perhaps a cousin of the German currywurst. Yes, it tastes a little bit more like a currywurst. And thick bun can hold the chili. It can. So the bun is very thick. The chili is very good. It doesn't have cheese. So my mistake earlier. It doesn't have cheese. It's mustard on it. And I could order it with cheese if I wanted to, but I think cheese would be a little bit overkill for this. The chili itself is actually pretty creamy because of the beans. I think they put some refined beans, or at least the beans got a little bit refined as it slow cooks. So it's a pretty nice creamy chili, rather than kind of a more soupy chili, as you might try at some other places. This is so good, everyone. And there's a lot more chili here. I'm going to finish this because this is so damn good. I cannot leave this behind. Leave no hot dog behind. Can you eat two, or is it too big? I can eat two for dinner. Would I? This is a snack. Or a lunch. I would say this is a good lunch. I wouldn't get too full on this. I like it. It's really good though. It's not like New York City hot dogs, which is a little bit, they're smaller, so it's a little bit easier to have two or three. This one, I think one suffices for one person, especially for a lunch or a snack. Good. Well, so good. I'm gonna have a few more potato chips. Hey, Lorraine, your husband is a chili dog fan. He'd be jealous. Oh, Lorraine, yeah. The chili dogs are really good. They're really good. It's a good combination. So that was an amazing chili dog. It's a tourist trap. It's touristy, but it's a really good chili dog. I wouldn't call it a tourist trap. What has some people might have said. My opinion is that it's a worthy chili cheese dog, worth the 10-minute wait. Really great. Come here during the day. I would probably not come here at night when it was much more packed. So it's a good lunch. A swig of water, and now we shall be walking around. And Ken says, Don't eat at too many different places. Your teeth will fall out. Ken, why is that? It's not like I'm eating tons of sugar. All right, let's go. Okay. So no. In my opinion, it's not a tourist trap. It's worth it. God, you love. And I do acknowledge, since this is a live video and we have a little bit more space, I do acknowledge before we walk around that this food is not representative of the culture that the owners belong to. It's not representative, doesn't have to be representative. Just like a cupcake doesn't need to be representative of American culture. A Snickers bar doesn't need to be representative of the entire culture. But does that mean a Snickers bar is necessarily terrible? No, it could be good once in a while. So yes, I do acknowledge that. But there's no fun in saying, no, we shouldn't have that chili cheese dog because, oh, they're giving the culture a bad name. Come on. It's like saying no to a pizza, no to a cupcake. That's awesome. Let me know what you think. Let's walk around U Street. Was it better than Nathan's? So in my opinion, I do not like Nathan's too much. My top hot dog in New York City is Papaya King. Is it better than Papaya King? Papaya King has its own unique thing. The hot dog was definitely filling, and it is better quality chili than you will find in Papaya King. So it's a better chili cheese dog, that's for sure, than the top places in New York. Is it a better hot dog? Yeah, it's about the same. It's a different hot dog. It's not meant to be the same as in New York. So let's check out, what is U Street all about? Anik says, how could I wear a mask after eating? Well, Anik, I am doing my best. There is some things you just have to do. So you do you. It's my personal choice to use a mask.
That's actually completely fair. Two styles of fits.
This area has gentrified a lot. Yes, I can see that. Anytime you will see the Smith, which is the famous like brunch place in New York City, they're in like the Upper West Side, for example, and also in Nomad. Anytime you see the Smith, it is a gentrified neighborhood. Can I ask you, where are we going precisely? I do not give proper directions in general, even if I plan a tour. This tour, though, is not planned, so I don't know where we're going. We're just going through U Street mostly. But this is a wandering. The wind is our back. Who knows where we'll end up. We're just enjoying the views. So look at the historic houses over here. Lori says, thank you for sharing that experience. Oh, so welcome. Papaya King has great smoothies. Oh, yes. Chris says, hot dogs pretty much taste all the same. Yeah, they do. I mean, you're not going to get too specific with hot dogs. Joe, I just ate a chili cheese dog. Chili dog, I mean. Called a half smoke here in Ben's Chili. Any benches to review, maybe? Great row houses, yeah. All right, let's check out this. Trip Hacks DC said something earlier. I missed your comment. If anyone could let me know what Trip Hacks said. You're doing such a great job keeping that white shirt clean. Oh yeah. I'm not only keeping a white shirt clean, I'm keeping white shoes clean. Yep, I travel with these shoes. It's just challenging myself to be as good on eating on camera as possible. So I think I have a feeling we're gonna bump into a lot of cool murals. This is awesome. It says, I make no separation between my work as an artist and my work as a human being. How many chili cheese dogs can Joey Chestnut eat? Joey Chestnut is the champion hot dog eater in Coney Island's contest. Though half smokes are pretty big, so I would say about half of what he can eat. And they're pretty heavy, so maybe even less, potentially. See, there's a plaque here. That's cool. All men are brothers. Paul traveled the world using his art as a weapon to fight against oppression and for self-determination of all people. Hey, have I shown DC inside and out? So Trip Hacks is coming with the good recommendations. Trip Hacks says, check out Dukum, Ethiopian restaurant. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me know if at some point in this tour, not in the immediate right now, but at some point in this tour, let me know. Do you want to try some Ethiopian food? Let me know in the comments. Well, I mean, I'll try it and I'll describe it as vividly as possible with as vivid facial expressions as I can. And that's what I mean by we will try it. That's what I mean. Does this city, there are houses with balconies, or is it not typical? I've seen a lot of houses with balconies. Not sure if it's typical, but from my personal observation, I've seen a few of them around. But I don't think it's as balconied as, say, European cities. Yes and yes, says Twinkle. Christopher says yes. All right. I'm glad a lot of my viewers that I'm attracting. So cool. I'm almost at 16K just in about a few days. All the viewers I'm attracting get this show. I'm glad you guys are tuning in and get what the show is about. So how am I enjoying DC so far? Asked Brendan. I am loving it. It's a beautiful city, wonderful things to do. To be honest, I kind of ran out of like interesting history I have been fascinated by, and that's why today I'm doing the wandering. It's not a detriment towards the city. You know, when I do historical tours, I'm usually following my fascination. I haven't found anything I'm super fascinated more of, but maybe that'll change. I think the stories that are left in DC from what I haven't told is much smaller stories, which they might be around. All right, we are going to jump on a party bus. So change of plans, everyone. Let's get on this party bus. I'll wave them down. Opportunity, guys. Oh yeah.
This right here is DC sound. This right here is DC sound, y'all. Shout out to the out of sounders. Y'all in town for a little bit. Y'all gonna enjoy this sound right here. Watch this is on, y'all. You don't know no
Washingtonian music. And as I mentioned, Washington DC is not like the culture hasn't proliferated all around the world yet. Unlike New York or Boston. This is Washingtonian classic Washingtonian music, go-go music. It's funk, soul with drums. They literally stopped traffic. Oh, that's fun.
Hey, make sure y'all get out there and vote, man. November 3rd. Rock the vote, man. Crank the vote. What you say, man? You said what? I can't hear you, brother.
Oh, that's so cool.
Hey, look, we're gonna throw you a bag. Throw him a bag real quick, man. There we go. Give my homie right here a bag.
Oh, that's so much fun. So this was go-go music, and I didn't think I would be able to show it to you because you know it's a very important part of Washington DC's culture, and it's not the thing that you'll see in movies like or TV shows like The West Wing or House of Cards, countless TV series that take place in DC. That's what people say Washington, but when you say DC, according to the people who live here, it's a differentiation. This is to them, this is DC. Go-go music is classic Washingtonian music, and it's improvised. It's kind of like funk soul with drums, and they kind of improvise and go for longer. They kind of jam out. Jack, the distinction is that it's improvised. As far as I know, it's improvised. I think they were improvising or jamming. But the big distinction is that they use drums and lots of percussion. Usually other types of soul funk might use drums, but it's not so prominent. So let me wait to cross, and then we'll go across and show you more of those historic buildings. But of course, everyone do your own research. This is not a history lecture or journalism. I'm just knowing what I just researched ahead of time superficially, so do your own research. Alright, let's cross. That was really awesome. I really loved that on the song. Thank you, 4K Wanderer. So 4K Wanderer expounds a little bit. Go-go is congas, keyboards, drums, hi-hats. Thank you. Appreciate that. What happened to their escort? They left. The police allowed them to do their show. Excuse me. My pleasure, Chris. Thank you so much for the super chat. $5. Thank you. Elisa, you're listening with your speakers to the max. Oh, awesome. Oh, Cuban mural appears? Yeah, it looks Cuban. some good artwork. Yeah, some good artwork in this neighborhood. All right, let me put this bag in my bag. The bag that they gave me, let me put it in my bag. Bear with me for a few seconds, so I'm not holding something. The best DC political show. I actually don't watch political shows, so I don't know. I love the House of Cards, but that, of course, that's purely fiction. Though it's fiction, it's things that have happened in the show subsequently have happened in real life. Adult juice box. All right, so which way should we go? Is there more stuff this way, or is it the other way? Let's see. We'll go both ways. Yeah, so we already came from that way, so let's go back. Backtrack once again. See what's I see newer apartment buildings there, so maybe better go the other way afterwards. And this is precisely why I encourage you to wander. You know, if when one is in an itinerary and really in a rush to do one thing after the other, and feeling pressed on time because you have to, you know, go to the next tourist site very quickly, you end up missing these random happenstances. And yes, these things happen randomly, but if you watch my show long enough, you end up seeing that they happen more randomly when we are more casually strolling around without worry or agenda or plan or itinerary. And I mentioned this many times, but I'll continue mentioning it because I kind of want to spread that word of travel. It's worth traveling a little bit off the beaten path, traveling off schedule, off the guidebooks, without plan, without direction, because you don't know what will you bump into. So great, some YouTuber will have muted that. Oh yeah, no. Well, yeah, I appreciate all the super chats, you know, just in case anything is copyrighted. But yeah, let me know what you think. But that's the type of travel I want to instill. I do show the history sites, of course, but I love the aspect of just wandering around, because you can't really plan to bump into go-go music. It's the middle of the pandemic. I really wanted to show you go-go music. As a person who makes videos about cities, I knew that go-go music is Washington D.C. Like I've shown salsa before in New York City, or shown the buskers in Italy, for example. That, you know, each region has its own particular flavor, its own particular music. But it's the pandemic, and a lot of those music places, you know, there's no way to really show them. I've shown indie rock as well on New York. There's no way to show them. And I couldn't plan to bump into go-go music, but it ended up happening anyway. The postman on the mural, yeah. Oh my god, margaritas to go. Look at that. You can buy a gigantic margarita for $7. That's what you call synergy. Hello, Manny. Brenda says, keep up the videos. They keep me going. Cheers again. We're in lockdown and it cheers me up again. And, oh, my pleasure, Brendan. That was a postman. Yeah, that was a postman playing the saxophone. A jazzy postman. Not entirely sure what the meaning of it was, but it was a jazzy postman. Postman on sax. Twinkle says, go with the flow. And wow, that mural was impressive. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have bumped into the Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's. Either when you see a Whole Foods or a Trader Joe's, the neighborhood is changing. Valerie wants a margarita to go. All right, everyone, let me know. Do you want that gigantic margarita to go? Who wants a gigantic margarita? Where are you at, Gary? I'm in the neighborhood Cardozo, though I'm wandering around, so this probably won't be the best show to ask me about the directions. And we start at U Street, we start at Ben's Chili Bowl. That's a reference point. I'll tell you where we end. Charlene would like a gigantic margarita to go. Thank you so much for a super chat. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Or no, appreciate it. Great adventure. I'm glad you're enjoying the event. If you drink a huge margarita. Chuck Brown was the king of go-go. I feel like busting loose as a lane. Oh, cool. It would be interesting if you did drunken tour guide history. Oh, David, I actually did an event. The only meetup I've ever done for Urbanist was a drunken history bar crawl. I did it in collaboration with Urban Archive NY, who are a really great app for finding historical photos. And yeah, I ended up talking about history drunkenly. It was fun. One Urbanist came. It was nice. There's an African American War Memorial across the street from Ben's. Okay, good to know. We'll check it out. Kind of wandering around. Let's go. Yeah, we're gonna backtrack to that area. And hopefully bump into a coffee shop. How much volume of alcohol is in the... I don't know the volume, but they do put rum, but I'm not sure how much juice or sugar they put in. Juice would dilute the rum, so I'm not entirely sure. The thing is with margaritas in the US, I've encountered this in New York, is that you can either have a very weak margarita that is very expensive, or you can have a very strong margarita that ends up being very cheap. So price can be deceiving when it comes to margaritas specifically, because margarita is kind of a drink that people want to have to get drunk. To be blunt, they drink it to pregame or to kind of have a good strong cocktail in the beginning or towards the end of the night, depends. So margaritas, when you see them cheap, like $7 for that gigantic one, you can be sure that there's a good strong chance it'll be very strong. So here are the row houses. Beautiful row houses here. Hey Aiden, I'm doing well, just wandering around. I think there's a drunk history show. Yes, there is Drunk History, it's called, on Comedy Central. Are you allowed to drink alcohol on the street? I don't think so. I think you can take it to go, but I don't think you could drink an open container, as far as I know. I don't think that's the case. I think that's the case almost all of the US. I could be wrong, let me know. Cheap margaritas give headaches. Yes, they do, because they have a lot of sugar. And this beautiful area over here. Ariel doesn't get drunk. To that comment, I will respond. See my video of having aperitivo last year in Rome. Just search for that video on Facebook. That's all I'll say. Pretty blue row house, yeah. Gorgeous blue row houses. Yeah, that one we passed. Margaritas in the UK cost $6.50. Is it the same case in the UK? Is the cheap margarita strong? Let me know. Ooh, another Black Heritage. Stop. Let's check it out. Vegas and New Orleans. Yes, Vegas you can drink outside. New Orleans, that's cool that you can also drink outside. That's awesome. You have to put the drink in the bag, says David. That is one way you can circumvent the law. That's one way you can do it. I don't condone that though. Michelle, haven't seen you in a while. Welcome. Hope you and the Aldecoa family is doing well. Here's number 8 of the City Within a City Greater U Street Heritage Tour. The White Law Hotel and the Duke. That Duke being Ellington himself. The elegant White Law Hotel on the corner of 13th, right here, and T Streets opened its doors in 1919, offering African American travelers their very first opportunity to stay in a first-class hotel in the segregated nation's capital. Inside, they found a lobby with fine rugs, potted palms, a richly decorated dining room, comfortable rooms, and convenience shops on the first floor. The White Law was a creation of African American business entrepreneur John Whitelaw Lewis. Oh, that's cool. He owned that hotel, who also built the Industrial Bank building on U Street. A former construction worker turned builder and financier, he raised funds for this construction and hired a black builder, Isaiah T. Haddon, a black architect, to make its reality. Its restaurant ballroom was the famous choice for elite dinner parties and dances. The clientele included many famous to this day, including Cab Calloway, Joe Louis, and neighborhood's own native son, Edward Kennedy Duke Ellington. Duke Ellington lived on this block from age 11 to 18 at 1806 13th Street. Which one's that one? 1806 13th Street. I think, yeah, it's right next to the White Law. While living here, chose music over baseball, soaking up the varied and rich musical traditions of the neighborhood. He was inspired and taught by his great gifted teacher at Armstrong High School, Henry Grant, by traveling pianists hanging out in local pool halls, by choirs, soloists in the neighborhood's many churches, and by teachers at Washington Conservatory of Music and School Expression at 9th Street and 10th. Ellington left for better opportunities in New York in 1923, but frequently returned to play in the Howard Theater and other clubs in his old neighborhood. With his talent and magnificent style, made him the hometown favorite. The White Law Hotel, where he sometimes stayed while visiting here, has now been converted into affordable apartments by Mana Inc. Its ballroom and stained glass ceiling has been restored to its former grandeur, and it continues to be a community gathering space. So this sounds like a really, really cool trail to follow if you want to learn about Washington, D.C.'s African American history. Respect. There's a Duke Ellington statue in Central Park. Oh, B. Griffin, interesting. 4K Wanderer says, I didn't know I had to come here, but now I do. Drinking alcohol in a coffee cup is the hidden secrets of a drinker to go, says Todd. Todd, that is very clever. All those numbers and directions on roads don't make sense to me as a Brit, says Aiden. Yeah, we do love our number and name streets here, unlike in Britain where they use names. This is a grid system, and this grid system predates New York. New York's grid system was set up in 1811, so it predates it about like 11 years, give or take a year or two. It's so confusing. Yeah, you can easily get lost here because unlike New York where you have some landmarks, many parts in Brooklyn as well, you can see the landmarks from afar. You know generally what direction you're walking, but it's a bit hard to spot, say, the Washington Monument from any certain distance. The Loneliest Monk in Coltrane is amazing. Oh yeah, and one of my favorites, Art Blakey. Oh, one of the best drummers in jazz history. Ariel, I see a video where you were last year in Rome Pantheon, but cool. Is it 360 mode? Or will you do it again? Oh, a 360 video. Yeah, there's not that much here to show in 360 if because a lot of the churches are closed. 360 video. I'll try to do one in New York when I go back. But yeah, here I don't think there's much to show in 360. Usually 360 I show something that you can look up, look down, like cathedrals, very interesting museums. So yesterday I talked about how I wish there was an African American historic area that one can visit as a tourist, and I was initially under the impression, as we conversed yesterday, that there wasn't one, but this seems to be the place. It's just signs, and of course you have a few establishments like Ben's Chili Bowl, so that's awesome. So yes, there is a place, and I'm very happy to see that personally. And just to clarify, African American are American, period. American. We don't need to necessarily have the distinction, but due to political circumstances of past 300 years, the culture has evolved in its own unique way. And that's the case with a bunch of other cultures. New York culture is unique in its own way compared to like Californian culture. So it's a really cool neighborhood to learn some African American history. That's awesome. Thumbs up, DC, for putting those plaques up. Let's see if we bump into more of them. Higher Street, no 17, 18, 19 streets. The monuments are the lowest part in DC, so hard to spot them from the hilly neighborhoods. Yep, exactly, B. Griffin. Thank you for clarifying. Great weather, says Max Power. Oh, yeah. Jazz is one of the most innovative American art forms. It really is. So many artists popped. They've inspired countless genres. You know, jazz had an influence on salsa, which is the heritage of my people, Puerto Ricans. Here is another spot. This is cool. This is interesting. So here it says Louise Burrell Miller Residence. Louise Burrell Miller led a group that successfully sued the DC Board of Education in 1952 to have a deaf African American children educated within the district. Until Miller versus the Board of Education, the children, including Miller's young son Kenneth, were sent to boarding schools in Baltimore and Pennsylvania. This was a painful ordeal for children with communication challenges. After the U.S.'s district court's decision, the children attended Kendall School for the Deaf. And on the grounds of Gallaudet College in Northeast Washington, they were still educated separately from whites until after the U.S. Supreme Court outlawed school segregation in 1954. Wow. Jordan says that DC is known as the original chocolate city. Yes, that was the nickname given to DC, as far as I know, by the African community itself, but I'm not 100% sure. So salsa was inspired by jazz, and then jazz in turn inspired many parts of funk, with the likes of James Brown and the early funk dancers and singers. And funk in turn inspired electronic music. Electronic music in turn inspired everything that we hear today, may it be Avicii, dubstep like Skrillex, Tiesto, etc. So DC is rich in black history. That is so awesome, yeah. Really cool to hear that. And see that right here. So if it weren't for jazz with the likes of Duke Ellington, our music industry would look very different. Very, very different. Because almost every single popular form of music has African American influences. And that is important to note. Why? Because even the British bands that took over American airwaves in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, they themselves were directly inspired by African American artists. That was their main inspiration. Listen to any interview with John Lennon, Paul McCartney, David Bowie, and countless other singers from the UK or from Europe or from other parts of the world. That's not saying that American music is better or worse or whatever. No, it's not a judgment call. What I'm saying is it's important to put emphasis to appreciate the history of this music and to appreciate the community behind that music. It's very important to do so, because if we are grateful for our communities and if we are grateful for the history of these communities, then the world would just be a better place. We can't just merely pick and choose whatever we think is good. If something inspires something else, remember everything is connected. Maybe in the form of music or literature or movies or architecture or dance. Everything is connected, everything is interconnected. And some voices are heard more than others. So if a voice is not heard as much, maybe it's time to make them a little bit more heard, that history a little bit more seen. Is this area an expensive area? It looks like it's quickly becoming an expensive area. That's my impression. Let me know if anyone knows exact information. Carmel says it is what it is. Yeah, but doesn't mean that one should not try to do awesome things, to spread the word of awesome artists. The streets are so simple. Stratford Road goes to Stratford. Oxford Road goes to Oxford. School Road has a school on it. In the US, you complicate it all with numbers. Touche. It was cheap at one time, yeah. There's the cat lady's house. Oh yeah. Blues was inspired by African Americans, yep. Or it was innovated by African Americans. So they didn't. Well, any blues singer that you might hear around the world, yeah, they're inspired by African Americans. Maureen gave stars. Thank you so much, Maureen. I can't see how many stars because my app doesn't show it, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Maureen, for stars. Ooh, let's check out this tree. I see cool artwork down there. Beer garden here. This looks like a little bit like a hipster area. Traditionally African American, but now it's becoming hipster. Is there a coffee shop here? Oh. Let's see. Oh, this is one of the highly rated restaurants, Lulu's. This restaurant is very high rated from what I've seen on Google reviews. Yes, we see another Black Heritage plaque. Let's go. Thanks for the extended bench review the other day. I read it all, says Aiden. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed that extended bench review. I'm so happy. Thank you, Aiden, for reading it. Stay away, you will get food poisoning. Why do you say that, Mitchell? Why is that? Why is that? Do you have a personal experience there? So here, let's read this. So city within a city. The Greater U Street Heritage Trail. We had everything we needed right here. Black businesses sprang up everywhere on U Street in the early 1900s as racial segregation increased. African Americans in Washington began a tradition of protest. They also responded by creating institutions of their own. In the last 25 years, from 1895 to 1920, a number of black-owned businesses in these areas skyrocketed, about 15 to more than 300. They clustered around U Street. John Whitelaw Lewis led the way, the guy who owned the hotel, which we saw a little bit earlier, led the way from a true rags to riches tale. The bank building on the building's corner, right over here, the industrial building, that was also owned by John Whitelaw Lewis. And is this him? Right here. Here's John Whitelaw Lewis, right here. The bank building on this corner were both financed by John Whitelaw Lewis and designed by black architect Isaiah Hudden. Also designed this one. Isaiah Hudden had a cool aesthetic. Let me know what you think. His aesthetic as the Whitelaw Hotel and now this one. It's like, I can't quite put a finger on it. Well, what does it look like to you? Let me know in the comments. It has like a interesting mishmash of flavor. The Bohemian Cavern of today is a revival of a long tradition on this spot. Crystal Caverns began here in 1926, so this was a historic bar as well. That's awesome. Wow. Just past the Italian restaurant. Indeed I did. So look at how beautiful this is. So this was the historic bar called the Crystal Cavern before. They ended up renaming it to Bohemian Cavern. I'm not entirely sure if it's still a jazz club inside, but on the first floor it's a restaurant called the Harlot. And I love the piano pattern right there. That's really, really cool pattern. Really nice. Dig it. Everyone give Trip Hacks, Rob from Trip Hacks DC, who I just did the previous tour with, a big round of hearts because he recommended this place, and this place literally had one tiny little paragraph in the travel book I usually use when I'm traveling around the world. It's the DK Eyewitness books. I love those books, but U Street had a tiny little mention. I did not realize how much history there is here. So thanks to Rob, he told me, hey, you should check it out. And I'm so grateful I end up doing that because it's really, really awesome area. So here's another mural. Oh wow, oh, these are cool. Oh my god, I am digging this. Look at this. Whoa, jazzy. And look, the colors are just so bright. That's so awesome. Wow. Look at that. Cars are idle over here. This is wonderful mural. Let me know who's who. Is that Miles Davis? Or is that Louis Armstrong? He's playing a trumpet. Who's this guy with the sax? Who's he? Who's the woman? Aretha Franklin, Nina Simone? Let me know. Looks like Billie Holiday. Yeah, it kind of looks like Billie Holiday. Yep, yeah, I think you might be right. I think it's Billie Holiday. Ariel, are you enjoying your trip while filming? Yes, I am. More adventure. I absolutely love what I do, so I don't mind traveling and making videos at the same time. So absolutely love what I do. So thank you. So here, look at this. Wow. Hey, how's it going?
Can you take a picture of all of us?
Oh, a picture? I'll do my best. I gotta hold my camera though.
Hey, that's cool.
All right.
That background's pretty though.
Wait a minute, hon.
Right there, right here.
What's your
Good
take right
photography.
here?
I don't know, we can take
Oh,
a
this one's nice for a background. Yeah.
Take it right here.
Yeah, it's a little bit more open. Yeah.
Alright.
You have the cars over there, unfortunately.
He said, come take it right here.
Any good food recommendations in this area?
What was that?
Food?
Oh, we have no idea. We're not even from here.
Where are you
We're
guys
just
from?
here for this, yeah.
Where are you guys from?
Delaware.
Delaware. Oh, cool. Oh, wow. You guys are a big group. God damn. All right.
My phone.
What?
What are you doing? You on live?
Yeah, I'm doing a live stream.
For what?
I explore the neighborhood.
Do you?
Yeah.
My camera's really busted.
It
You want
is?
to take it with your phone and
I
send it
can't.
to me?
I can't, unfortunately.
Okay. I'll give you my number after.
No, I can't do it, unfortunately. I gotta use your
Can't?
camera. I can't. No.
Who's got a better phone than me? Who have to do one?
Girl, we don't. Here, just
Yeah.
put it whatever time you're ready.
Everything.
All right.
All right, y'all know y'all gotta come. Y'all like a big
We trying to wait for you to come back in so we know where you position. Where you are.
Y'all got it. The couples in the middle, y'all.
I was saying,
Y'all have to go extra fast.
Shorty, can you shoot?
All right, there we go. There we go. There we go.
All right.
Here, stack. Get behind her. Open her. Come on. Drive on the side. Open her. You have to come on the other side then. Because you know you always in the back. You know, everybody be seen. Come in the front. Open her. Come in the front. Come in the front.
You guys ready? Yeah. All right. Let's do a few of them.
All right, hold on.
All right. 3, 2, 1. All right. You guys want to do like a silly one or something like that?
Now, no, really.
Okay. You guys want to yell Delaware? All right. Go for
Y'all
it.
from Delaware. Is it okay?
Someone said Delaware, so right there. Have a great day. You too. Guys. So, yeah, there's a huge group of people. All right. That's a reunion photo. Yeah, they're all from Delaware. They're not locals. Delaware's a nearby U.S. state. I think it might be like a 2-hour drive, maybe a little bit less. Indeed. The Greek spot. Oh, interesting. Ariel, do you plan to match your shirts and mask? I do. I usually have a mask that matches more with darker shirts. I have another mask that matches a little bit more with lighter shirts. I only have really 2 major masks that I use. I also have an Urbanist mask that I have as a backup. B. Griffin says Delaware's about an hour and 45. Cool. Good to know that there's a Greek restaurant. Yeah, there's a Greek restaurant. It looks nice and chill. Here, chill, if for anyone who's not from America, it means relaxed, calm. So here is Christian Tabernacle Church of God. I hope they enjoyed their photo. Do you like baklava? I love baklava. Re-asking, do you like pina colada? I do love pina colada. Ronald, I did an entire video about the immense history of pina colada in Puerto Rico last year. You can actually see that in the bonus. You're watching from YouTube, right? So, or Facebook. You can see it on Facebook by searching Pina Colada Urbanist, or you can see the replay on YouTube. Search Urbanist Bonus. It is my secondary channel where sometimes I post the older videos there. All right, so I don't think there's so much to see this way. Is there anything? Let's see. I don't see much here. There's like a huge industrial building on there. I don't know what that is about. Let's crisscross over here. Do you have photographer written on my shirt? Jordan, no, I do not. But I think the fact that I'm carrying an iPhone with a stabilizer and I just, as you mentioned that, I'm chuckling because the woman said, "Hey, take the photo with your phone. I'll give you my number." I wonder if it was just for the photo. But yeah, I'm carrying a gimbal. I'm carrying a camera. Plus, I'm wearing glasses. I think a lot of photographers have my look. Like Instagrammer photographers, the male ones have like a similar style that I do. So I think it's because of my hipster-like style that people are like, "Oh, this guy's a photographer." Aiden says, "I'm gonna try that next time, that trick." Yeah, take your photo. Take my photo. My camera's bad. I'll give you my number. All right, so I'm gonna find the Ethiopian place. I think I don't see too much more here. If anyone knows anything else, you should have told them your YouTube channel. Yeah, maybe I should start saying the YouTube channel. That detour from U Street. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Love your style. I don't know. Should I tell when people stop me for photos for YouTube channel? I usually don't say my YouTube channel to like Uber drivers because it's so spontaneous. I don't want to like feel like I'm sneaking up on them, and I try to never ask them anything that's too personal or anything. So I try not to like say like I'm doing YouTube. So I don't say that. That's why I don't mention my YouTube channel to like taxi drivers or bus drivers when I go on bus tours, or like someone I see on the metro. But maybe when someone asks me about photos. All right, everyone. Let's see if the Ethiopian place is open. Doesn't look open. Why is that? No. Any plan for your travel books? No, not in the near future, no. But you'll be seeing a film from me at some point. Dukem is closed. No. But they have carryout. Let's investigate. Passed it earlier. Barely noticed it. Alright. Name a sick rapper for the DMV area. I don't know. And what is the DMV area? I'm not so familiar with that term. I don't know too many rappers. Not my forte. Are they closed?
I have no clue.
Oh, okay. All right. Awesome. DMV is DC, Maryland, Virginia. Oh, thank you so much. I don't know any rappers here, but if anyone does, let me know in the comments. Is it getting cold here? No. It's pretty good weather here. Take a U to Vermont Avenue for the African American Civil War Museum. Okay, let's see. Okay, all right, cool. We'll go there. All right, awesome. Thank you, B. Griffin. Let's check it out. We'll go to Vermont, see what's down there. Wale is a rapper from this area. Cool. Dave Chappelle is my favorite Washingtonian. Love that comedian. All right, so let's go over Vermont. Let's see if we can catch a glimpse of the museum. Bad Brains is an amazing DC band. Ooh, I've heard of Bad Brains. Yeah, that's so cool. That's awesome. Oh my god, a soul food place. It looks packed. Oh, that's really cool. Classic soul food. This place looks legit. Look at how packed it is. Oh wow, that looks like it's probably very good. Rent a scooter? No, don't do that. 1925 Vermont, south of U Street. Right here. It's closed, unfortunately. Is this one? Yeah, I think it might be this one. It's closed, but they do have the memorial outdoors here, which is nice. Let's check it out. Todd, yep, Bad Brains inspired Red Hot Chili Peppers. So the statue is the Civil War to Civil Rights and Beyond. That's what it says down here. I can't read the writing. It's a little bit erased. Oh, that's a shame. They have to keep this a little bit more up so people could read the writing. But this is a memorial and dedication to the African Americans who sacrificed their lives in the Civil War and beyond. Hey, Judith. And it's starting to rain. So here's one of the metro stops. U Street, African American Civil War. All right. Oh, this neighborhood, interesting. Things are very overgrown here on this side. It looks nice. Here's a historic house. This property has been placed on the National Register of Historic Places. I wonder who it belonged to. Thanks again for the stream. My pleasure, Aiden. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now we're looking like New Haven, yeah. Oh, Joe, I'm pretty close by, both by Metro and Uber. I'm pretty close. So let's pass through a few more of the houses. The Ethiopian places are closed right now. So in that case, let's see if we can investigate what's the local coffee shop, which should be a little bit further down this way. Let's check it out. Wow, this house is gorgeous. Look at this. Beautiful renovation. Are you by Meridian Hill Park? Oh, I'm not sure. Oh, this is like an apartment building, multi-family. Oh, wow. Beautiful town. Yeah, at least in New York City and in Washington, D.C. and many other cities in the U.S., you cannot drink outdoors. Even if it's a park. You can definitely not drink in the park as well. Legally. So cool. A gas lamp. Whoa. That is really old school. Oh my god, another gas lamp here. There's a waterfront, Meridian Hill Park. Oh, interesting. Amazing architecture. Oh, on the stop on the Black Heritage Trail. That's cool. Oh, is this also made by Isaiah Hutton? Oh, let's see. Haddon? Isaiah Haddon? It looks like his style. Yep, it might be Isaiah. Our good friend Isaiah. Where am I going? We're heading to a coffee shop. We're gonna see what the local coffee shop is all about here. But first, here is, for the first half of the 20th century, this U Street neighborhood inspired and sustained the rich social and civic cultural life of Washington's African American community. In the shadow of Howard University, neighbors responded to the social injustices of the segregated city by creating their own self-reliant culture, by generating leaders for the city and the nation in science, medicine, law, military, education, and arts, such as Duke Ellington. So this is the entire stop. There is 14 stops, and that's really cool. 14 stops. We've seen like 5 of them, and that's cool. Yeah, you can see the entire Heritage Trail. Michelle, we are in Washington, D.C. So this is the 12th Street YMCA, historic landmark, built in 1908, apparently. Plaque alert. Yep, there's a plaque. Plaques are wonderful things. The world needs more plaques. Not in the heart, but in real life. Like historical plaques. Alright, we're approaching the coffee bar. Let's try it out, buy a coffee, and I'll give you a quick review for a final stop on this tour. Look at this house. Wow. Hey, I'll have a very short Americano. And small, and but with very little water. Yeah, smaller than that.
Up to here. Okay.
Ariel.
A-R...
I-E-L.
Will that be all for you?
What's that?
What's the difference between all those iced teas? And what's the bread you have in the back?
It's banana nut.
Oh, interesting. And then the donut?
They are cake donuts, so they're a little more dense.
I'll try the donut.
Just one of those?
Yeah, and that's all.
It would be $5.50.
Yeah, so yesterday after you told me, I actually was walking around that area, so I went and checked out the
Thank you so much. Okay, awesome. All right, Adam, what is the intersection? The intersection is S and 12 for our final stop. Is S and 12 South Street. It's actually it's on Northwest, so we're in Northwest, South and 12. That's our intersection. I got myself a donut to try it out, and they also have banana nut or banana chocolate one, which is interesting. It looked like a really good cake as well. And by the banana one, it says B Griffin. A bit too late. I prefer the donut right now. And this is called the coffee bar. So let's see how it is for our final stop as I wait for my short Americano. And I'm going to get soon to get some coffee and take a walk. Very windy today, but very sunny. Oh, cool, Lori. Yeah. It's windy here as well, and not so sunny. It's pretty cloudy. Let me show you more of the architecture. No worries, Elisa. That is a valid question. Great question. Why do they ask for names
The one I
in
yesterday, that place on Rhode Island actually.
in the coffee cup?
So you actually checked it out, like you went on.
It's a custom that came from Starbucks in the 1990s. So Starbucks, I think, opened just shortly before, but Starbucks really became popular in the 1990s. It became like a coffee shop where you order. And the owner, Howard Schultz, who was a New Yorker, ended up going to Rome and was so deeply, or to Italy, he was so deeply astonished by the coffee bar culture, where at most Italian places, at least if you're going to the smaller towns or if you're going to the neighborhood places, the bar men, usually the baristas, usually know your name. So he really liked that aspect that the baristas knew people's names. So the way he introduced that to Starbucks when it first opened up as a coffee shop in Pike Place in Seattle, and then expanded over to a few other states in the West, and then here in New York City. New York City, I think, was 1997, if I'm correct, around Upper West Side. They end up asking for the names behind the bar, trying to do it Italian style. But again, Seattle, New York, they're big cities, so you couldn't, the way the barista would easily remember your name was by writing down your name on the coffee cup. And that was the tradition, because in Italy there's no coffee to go. But in the US, Starbucks was following the example of other places like Dunkin' Donuts and Peet's Coffee, which were directly related to Starbucks because three of the four guys who started Starbucks were actually students of Peet's Coffee, and there's actually a Peet's Coffee around here as well. They started in Seattle. So all these places were selling coffee to go. So coffee to go was a very uniquely American thing, and Harold Schultz was just combining coffee to go culture with Italian style by having a bar, a barista, and in order to the barista to learn your name, they would write down the name on a coffee cup. That'll help the barista to remember your name. And that was the early days of Starbucks. Usually they will be able to remember your name. But of course, Starbucks has become a massive, gigantic company, so that's not always the case. So let's wait around. But that is the case when you go to these smaller shops. If they do write your name, sometimes they do end up remembering it if you go over and over again. Not always the case, because the baristas here are not like full-time in the sense of like Italy, where baristas, and of course I'm generalizing, there's exceptions to every single rule, but the baristas over there tend to work for long periods of their life as a barista. They're dedicated to the craft of being a barman behind the counter at an Italian coffee bar. Maybe they own the coffee bar themselves, and that's their job. They're not doing that in order to kind of pay for college or to pay some extra bills. That's the case here. People here are here to pay some extra bills, and hence you might not see people with the intention of remembering your name. So it's to me, it's a bit of an empty gesture, but at least it's a step forward. So I hope that answers your question, Elisa. That was a great question. I could talk a lot about coffee. Elisa says, big thank you for your answer. My pleasure, Elisa. So I'm a bit puzzled because I've been to a few coffee shops already in DC and the wait are long. I don't know why they take so long to make a cup of coffee. When I'm in New York, it's very quick. In Italy, of course, it's like immediate. Yes, this is a live tour. Ivan Marks, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. And landmark laws contribute greatly to making areas unaffordable. Yeah, that's quite an issue. Also, restrictions on height. So yes, you can have a bunch of historic buildings, but unfortunately, other buildings that are not so historic cannot build higher, and hence they cannot make multi-family housing, and hence there's no affordable housing, and prices end up rising for these apartments. That's what happens. Julio, you always change your name randomly. Julio, is your name pronounced Julio, like in Spanish, Julio? Julius, or is the Y pronounced differently? Let me know.
Ariel and
Yes.
Winnie?
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too. Have a good one. All right, let's go to these benches over here. Try the coffee. The coffee's boiling hot. All right. The place was completely full. No table there in the front. Is the Russian's version of Julio. Okay, Julio. Thank you so much for letting us know. So bench review, only bench in this broadcast is, it's a comfy bench. I like it. If you want to read more about my thoughts of concrete benches, you have to read my my Instagram post from yesterday. Check that out. I go fully in depth into my review of a concrete bench. I was in a spur of inspiration. So I wrote that because I listened to a song and I was like, oh my God, I just got to write about a bench. So if you want to read about that, you can read it. But this particular one, since it's outdoors, it's right by a coffee shop. It is nice. It's a nice bench. I like it. And my cat is always trying to leave the house, says Sandra. Oh no, Sandra, that sucks. In my town, Isola, Slovenia, we predominantly have two cafes, Julius Melin and Don Ortes. Ooh, I had never heard of them. Are they coffee roasters? Let me know. And that is interesting. Now I'm laying in my sofa with my GF and enjoying a virtual tour. How cool is that? Yes, you're enjoying a virtual tour. Not so much more walking for this one. Are your hands hot because of the coffee? The coffee is really hot. Another thing that I get a little bit annoyed about in American coffee is they just make it crazy hot. Like it's boiling. They put the water, they take out the water and it's boiling water, so it's super hot. And yeah, Yeah, it's a bit too hot. It's definitely for a slow drink, not quite for a fast one. So first, let me try the donut. And there's a lot of flies over here. It seems to be some wet ground. In Washington, D.C. Yes, we're in Washington, D.C. Here's the donut. I'm gonna try the donut. Mm. There has been a few lawsuits of hot coffee. Yep, there was a huge one in the 1990s. There was a very big one, yeah. Here in the U.S. they serve it boiling in many places. I should just order espresso. I like Americanos because I just want a little bit more drink, but it's way too hot sometimes. You have to wait like 10 minutes for it to cool down. So, verdict on the donut. The donut is good for a plain classic old-fashioned donut. It's a very nice old-fashioned donut. It's so good, it might be good for some coffee dumping. So, let's use a donut. Let's go New York style up in here. Let me know, should I go New York style? And should I dip a piece of this donut into my coffee? You know, we're in Washington, D.C. Might as well be New York here with a boiling cup of coffee. And a luckily nice and cool donut. Maybe it'll make the coffee drinking experience a little bit quicker. So, put a vote. Donut and coffee. Put a donut emoji. Or should I just wait for the coffee to cool down? Let me know in the comments. New York style or kind of let it go and be normal? How hot is the coffee? The coffee is boiling coffee. It's normal in American coffee. If you order an Americano, Americanos usually come boiling. Sometimes, you know, they do a little bit better job in not putting boiling water, but it's boiling in it ever. And donut and coffee, says everyone. All right, everyone. Donut and coffee for our final stop at the coffee bar. Very nice place. Actually, one of the most beautiful coffee shops I've seen. It's in a nice residential street. Your thoughts on GTA San Andreas? I love it. Beautiful game. Had so many good memories playing it. So, right over there is the coffee shop. I absolutely love the look of this coffee shop. Really beautiful coffee shop. Very quiet atmosphere. And that sucker says, all right, we're dunking. America's dunking. Oh yeah. Now I know how a police officer feels. My regular old-fashioned donut just turned into a really good coffee donut. It's actually a really good combination. Wow. This is all the rage in all these cop movies? Delicious. Get as plain as a donut as possible and get yourself an espresso or Americano and dump that donut. Dunk that donut. This is a classic kind of police style treat. This is how the police feel. I get it. A true cop dinner. Yeah, Big Griffin. True cop dinner. And the coffee alone It's good. It's very good. Yeah, it's very good. American taste, of course. So it's light and bright. Very good. Cue the 70s cop music. And then my buddy cop comes, drives onto the road to pick me up right here. He says, "Quick, Ariel, we got a call to answer. Leave the donuts, bring the coffee." Or maybe he says it the opposite. "Leave the coffee, bring the donuts." And then we go off into the night to fight crime. And with that, everyone, that was authentic New York donut and coffee in the middle of Washington, D.C. Now, I'm gonna fight some crime. Gonna get people doing some time. And I'm going to enjoy the rest of this coffee. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. This is a great neighborhood. I didn't have time to research this. I didn't know too much about it prior, to be honest. It wasn't really mentioned in the guidebooks too prominently. Only thanks to Rob from DC Travel Trip Hacks DC. He's the one who told me about it, and I'm so grateful he did. There is no anarchy here. The most anarchistic thing here is the donut inside the coffee. So, everyone, see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Thank you so much for tuning in. Keep being awesome, and always keep on exploring. Have a good day, everyone. Dun, 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 dun. See you, everyone, in another life. Ba-da-da-da.